This is the first time giving this new Makita cordless 18 volt brushless motor whip snipper a go. It runs on the same system as all my other tools, but I bought this for school because we've got Makita tools like the track saw and some drills, routers, that sort of stuff that we bought for the senior class. But I bought this right at the end of the year for our ag plot, and I thought I'd come home and give it a try in the holidays just in my front yard, because my backyard's too big, I think. But I wanted to see what it'd be like for a courtyard size, because if it's okay, it would go well with my mower just to do that front yard area. Then I'll use the mower and my big steel whipper snipper for the backyard. Now, it's only got a D handle type setup because it's only meant for light duty. Double trigger controls. You notice it's got like a slow and a fast speed. I believe it also has a reverse rotation. I think that's just to get it untangled. There's your speed indicator there, which I haven't yet tried. It has a little guide for the front of it as well, so you don't go too close to plants, shrubs, trees, that sort of stuff, with your cord spinning around. It's also got the guard at the back. It is a bump stop delivery line spool, which is the same as my still. I really like this style, but they can tend to get damaged over time. The middles usually wear out from being bumped on the ground. I need to buy a new one for the still, because I've used up two. It does have a telescopic arm, so you can unlock this and get a little bit more length out of the body of it. Shoulder strap, so it takes some of the weight off your arms. And I'm going to go give it a go out around my pond out the front and around the plants in the front yard. So this is the area I'm going to be testing it out on. You can see I've got some fairly thick grass in here that's grown over this wet time we've had this summer. Also all under that table, all along the fence line, on the fence line here, around the plants there, as well as the hill and front yard. And even though it's cordless, always a good idea to have eye protection, and I've actually got hearing protection in too, because it says it spins up to 92 decibels, being that it's an electric motor spinning a twine around that basically makes a high noise. Here's an example of where the reverse comes in. You can see the stuff stuck in it. Press the reverse button. And it spins it off. And then once you let go of the trigger, it switches back to forward. Okay, a couple of things. The line it comes with is pretty good. It's only had to bump stop it a couple of times. But I noticed that once you start doing that, I think it starts to fray a little bit more. I seem to, not bump stop, bump feed. My other one, I seem to bump feed a lot. I think it starts to get a little bit worn here. One issue that happened 3 or 4 times early on was when I'd stop it, this part, but it's got a clutch to stop it so it doesn't just free spin, and the clutch stopped and then this thing unwound and fell off. I tried to recreate it a little later, but I think after having used it quite a bit, it bedded in a little bit better with the force of being used. I like that it has this quick release on the strap, because there was one or two times where I needed to sort of pull something out of the weeds in the way, and rather than trying to throw this over my head with the hat, I just unclipped it, sat this down so I could get in. Looking at the controls closer, you long press to turn it on. That might help if I put a battery on it. Okay, so you long press to turn it on and it comes on. Short presses on this changes the speed. So this one is probably auto. Alright, press it again, you get turtle speed, which is much the same as auto. Again, get the next speed, and then rabbit speed or hare speed. Alright, and obviously, yes, the reverse button, press that flashes. Once you've stopped it, it goes back into forward. And if you want to turn it off, long press. I just had it set up like this. I said it is adjustable. You click that to there. So it's been unlocked. Yeah. Gives you an adjustment of about 100mm, 4 inches. So not a lot, but it could be the difference between a comfortable use and a backache at the end from having to lean over a bit too much. And obviously if you lengthen this because you're taller, you bring the handle back again. But I found, where did I have it? Just there. And it's locked in. That was a good height for me. Like most battery operated tools, very responsive on the trigger. I only used that on the higher speed, and that would have obviously chewed through the battery, but with my grass, because I've got some heavy couch grass and crabgrass runners, I don't think the slow speed would do anything. So I had it on the high speed, which meant it was basically thrashing like crazy, and it was working really well. But I didn't make it all the way around the yard on a single charge. That said, my yard is pretty big, and if you remember seeing the front, it's not uniform. It's sloped, it's got a lot of gardens in it, a lot of plants that I had to work around, the pond, and the mower obviously can't get everywhere in there, so it becomes a little bit of a thrasher in areas where the mower can't get anyway. But I could tell that it was starting to slow down, and then all of a sudden, just like any battery tool, it just stops. I came down, grabbed one of my own batteries, chucked it on, finished the job. A lot lighter than my still whip snipper is one of those big ones with like the bike handlebars, like you see council workers using. So it's got a fair bit of weight and in it. It was really good for manoeuvring around the yard because it was so light, and you could pick it up and move it and bend it and get it under the trailer and all that sort of stuff really easy. Price, I think it was on special, and I paid about 360 something, like 368. It came with a battery and a charger, which was pleasing. So it wasn't like one of the skin only jobs. But even if it hadn't, I have these batteries and chargers at work as well, and I have these batteries and chargers at home. So, but if you'd never had it before, if you didn't have any Makita stuff, $368 for the tool, a fast charger, and a 4 amp hour battery. Build quality on Makita stuff is really good. It's one of the reasons why I chose it as my tool platform. I'll see how my finances go. It's something that I probably would buy for my yard, for the little front yard. Definitely easier to manoeuvre that around, especially up in amongst all the plants up in the top corner. It's very hard to get around through those with a bigger whipper snipper, but that was quite manoeuvrable. And with that little bar on the front, it protected a lot of the plants. I wasn't able to go too close to the stems, and so they didn't get hit by the line. Yeah, I hope this was helpful for people. If you're thinking of buying a battery-powered whipper snipper, and you haven't set your mind on a particular brand, the Makita build quality is really good. And like I said, this one was tool, battery and charger for $368 Australian. $368 Australian. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that was a sale price. It probably retails at this point, or at the end of 2024, because it's the start of 2025, for $399. But tool, 4 amp hour battery and charger is pretty good. Thanks for watching if you're still here, and I hope that I've been able to give some people some things to think about if you are tossing up on brands and you haven't made up your mind yet. I think the Makita's a good shop. And like I said, I won't say I bought this with my money. I bought it with my work's money, and I'm just testing it out here because I wanted to make sure what it was like and what it was capable of before handing it over to any of my students to cut down the grass and the weeds around our ag plot. And it's light enough for, I think, some of our junior classes to use it, and my senior classes could definitely use it. I know one of my kids wanted to use it at the end of the year, but maybe this year. Cheers.